Welcome to my channel. Those who want to have a baby should know that it is crucial to understand when your ovulation occurs or when it is the most fertile time during the menstrual cycle to conceive. Every month, an egg is released from woman's ovary for conception. If sexual intercourse occurs during ovulation, pregnancy can happen. However, in many cases, we cannot accurately identify the exact time of ovulation. So, in this video, I will discuss about when is the highest chance of getting pregnant after a period and how you can recognize that time. So, let's get started. Firstly, it is important to understand how a baby is conceived. In the female reproductive system, there are two ovaries, each containing several follicles or eggs. During each menstrual cycle, one egg is released from a specific follicle in the ovary. The released egg travels to the fallopian tube where it is await fertilization by sperm. If fertilization occurs during this time, conception and pregnancy can occur. The time of egg release is known as ovulation or the fertile window. After the egg is released from the follicle, it survives in the female body for about 24 hours, while sperm can survive in the female reproductive tract up to 5 days after intercourse. Therefore, we understand that conception can happen if intercourse takes place during ovulation or the fertile window. Now the question is, how can you determine the time of ovulation or egg release? It is quite simple. Pay attention to your menstrual cycle. To determine the day of ovulation, you need to have a regular menstrual cycle. I will teach you the method of identify the day of ovulation inshallah. Ovulation is calculated by subtracting 14 days from the length of your menstrual cycle. For example, if your menstrual cycle is 30 days long, then the day of ovulation would be 30 minus 14 equal to 16 day. Therefore, you should consider the 16th day of your menstrual cycle as the day of ovulation. The 16th day will be calculated from the start of menstrual cycle. Many people count from the last day of menstrual bleeding, but this is not the correct way. Sometimes menstruation is 3 to 4 days earlier or later, and ovulation is also 3 to 4 days earlier or later. Therefore, to ensure there are no misses on the ovulation day, we calculate 3 to 4 days before and after the ovulation day. If we calculate 3 days before the 16th day, it is fall on the 13th day. And if we calculate 3 days after the 16th day, it is fall on 19th day. So, if we understood correctly, in 30-day menstrual cycle, the ovulation day is between 13th to 19th day. Now, let's move on the main video. When is the best time to get pregnant after period? This time depends on your menstrual cycle. If you have a 28-day cycle, menstruation occurs in every 28 days. In this case, you are most likely to be bleeding for approximately 1 to 5 days. Generally, it is considered unsafe to have intercourse during menstruation due to the risk of infection. Additionally, conception is unlikely during the menstruation because the egg is not released from the ovary at this time. The egg is typically start to mature on day 6, 7 or 8 day of menstruation. During this time, the chance of conception are relatively low, around 0 to 3%. One way to understand this time is through the observation of white discharge. Pay attention during this time if there is no discharge or if many people say that the vaginal is dry. Many women may experience brownish discharge, which is actually menstrual blood oxidized and changing the color to brown. Additionally, many women may observe white discharge, but during this time the discharge is thick, milky or creamy white in color. From the 9th to 13th day of menstrual cycle, the chance of conceiving is increased. However, many women may still observe white discharge until the 10th to 11th day, which is also normal. During this time, the amount of discharge is low and increase day by day because the eggs becomes mature in the ovary. Discharge during this time is somewhat cloudy, dense and pale yellow, appearing as a light yellow, milky white or creamy white. On the 12th day of menstrual cycle, the type of discharge become thinner. You can observe a clear, watery, slightly slippery discharge similar to egg whites 1 or 2 days before ovulation. It indicates ovulation for women. This type of discharge also has the characteristic of being elastic, meaning that it can stretch for several centimeters when held between fingers. This discharge, resembling the white part of an egg, guides women about their ovulation. By having intercourse when this type of discharge is present, the chance of conceiving can be higher as 42%. The 12 to 16 day of menstrual cycle can have the most of this type of discharge compared to others time. Those who want to conceive are more likely to be successful if they have intercourse during this fertile window. On the 16th or 17th day after menstruation, the chance of conception dropping significantly. This is because after the release of egg from the ovary, it survives in the female body about 24 hours. Therefore, if ovulation occurs on the 14th day of menstrual cycle, the egg will not longer be present in the fallopian tube after 24 hours, which means there is no possibility of conception if intercourse occurs after that time. I am showing a graph for reference. Notice that the chances are lower at the beginning of menstrual cycle and the highest likelihood of conceiving occurs shortly before ovulation. After intercourse, male sperm can survive inside the female reproductive organs for up to 5 days. If you want to conceive, it is important to start intercourse during the ovulation day or fertile window, which beings 3 to 4 days before ovulation. This is because if the sperm is already present in the fallopian tube when the ovulation occurs, it is increase the chance of successful fertilization. Additionally, the timing of menstrual period can vary, occurring a few days earlier or later. Therefore, considering the ovulation day as a reference, you should add 4 days before and 3 to 4 days after to calculate your intercourse day. By doing this, the probability of missing the ovulation day is reduced. Let me provide an example to help you understand. Suppose you determine your ovulation day as the 14th day of your menstrual cycle. In that case, considering 4 days before the 14 days and 3 days after the 14th day, you have a fertile window of days 10 to 17 of your menstrual cycle. These 7 to 8 days represent a suitable and probable time for conception. Since everyone's menstrual cycle is different, you should calculate it based on your own cycle length. No more today. Hope today's video was helpful for you. If you find the video helpful, don't forget to share it with your friends. Please subscribe to the channel to get health advice, health awareness and reproductive health related all this video, and remember to become a member of our family. Stay with us healthy and safely. Thank you for watching this